Hi everyone, it's me, Jacket, back at it again with another video. This is different from the usual stream highlights, but I don't know. Today I just thought about talking about life. Um Life is a very complex thing to talk about. It's a very complex subject with a lot of questions surrounding it. But I've had time to think. I don't really do much in life, so all I do is sit around and think. And hey, I'm not an expert on this subject, but I know a thing or two, maybe. So, today I want to talk about three things: the meaning of life, at least in my opinion. What the meaning of life is to me. Um, what you should do. The options that you have after you find that meaning, and finally, how people react when you tell them about the meaning of life, at least the meaning of life that I've come to find. So, the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? What's life about? Why are we here? Why do we struggle? Why do we suffer? Why do we succeed? And why do we do anything in general? Well, this is gonna be disappointing, but there is no meaning of life. You see, people have an inflated ego. They think too highly of themselves. They think just because they're the smartest creatures on this planet that their life has a greater purpose. Now, if you're a religious person, then life has a greater purpose to you, but I'm not really a religious person, so that doesn't apply to me. Now, if you really just think about it, we're a bunch of we're specks of dust on a planet among billions and trillions of other planets, among billions of galaxies in an endless, never-ending space. And you think that we are important. I mean, that's ridiculous. We're literally nothing in the grand scheme of things. We are null and void compared to everything else. We could disappear, the earth could explode, and the universe would not give a single about us. The universe would not care. We are nothing. So it's a little silly to think that there is a greater purpose for us, a a higher mission, something that's waiting for us at the end of our lives. That's just ridiculous to me. So, like I was saying, there is no meaning of life. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is everything you do, every action you take, every thought that comes into your head, every interaction you have with others, every mistake you make doesn't matter. No consequences aside from the ones that exist within your space, within your society, within your group, or at the most within your planet, or a corner of this planet. Other than that, your actions have no consequences. Whether you made someone angry, whether you answer the question wrong on an exam, whether you went to your job or not, whether you went to school or not, whether you woke up or stayed asleep, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. The earth keeps spinning, nothing changes. All right, society keeps doing its thing. So that's what I mean when I say life doesn't matter. All right, what I mean is that nothing we do matters, and nothing we do has any meaning aside from the meaning we give it within our society. At least that's my idea. That's the conclusion I came to. But yeah, that's the answer to the meaning of life. There is none. Now, hold on. That's not the final answer. If you want a meaning to life, I can give you one, right? Just because the meaning of life doesn't exist doesn't mean we can give it, doesn't mean we can't give it a meaning. If you want a meaning to life, here is the one I came I came to, like the conclusion I came to when it comes to the meaning of life. The meaning of life is whatever you want it to be. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that the meaning of life, to me at least, is finding what you enjoy in this life, what you like doing, you know, what you enjoy practicing, finding that and doing it as a hobby, as a job, as whatever. That is the purpose of life rather than the meaning. I think purpose of life would describe it better. Yeah, that is the purpose of life. We answered the meaning of life is that it doesn't exist. Now the purpose of life is to find what you enjoy and do it. Basically, the purpose of life is to enjoy it. That is the purpose of life, is to find joy in life, which can be hard, I know. It can be very hard in today's society and in societies in general throughout the ages, from constant wars to struggles and wars and all that, you know. Finding happiness in life can be very hard, but I think that's the purpose of life, to find joy, either through finding something you enjoy doing, interacting with people you enjoy interacting with, or whatever else. Just find joy. So, what is the meaning of life? Nothing. There is no meaning to life. What is the purpose of life? It's to enjoy it to the fullest. Find what you like, do it. Find who you like, talk to them, hang around them. That is the meaning and purpose of life. Now, what should you do with that information? Well, it's a little complicated. So you're gonna have to stay with me on this one. There are two routes you can go down: a depressing route and a happy route. Let's start with the depressing route. You know, let's start with the bad and end with the good. So, after you come to the realization that life has no meaning and the purpose of life is whatever you give it, what should you do? Well, you can either give up or keep going. If you give up, it's because, well, nothing matters. Whether you succeed, fail, whether you do something great or something horrible, it doesn't matter. You can be the smartest person alive. You can create something amazing, something that we've never seen before. Excuse me. Something that we've never seen before, and it wouldn't matter. You would die, and let's be generous, in a couple 100 years, you'll be forgotten. If you really did something so great that it changes society, couple 1,000 years even, at most, I'm like being generous, a couple 1,000 years, forgotten. Like you never existed, like you were never here. It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, wherever you go, however many things you create or destroy, once you're dead, you will be forgotten eventually. It'll be like you never existed. All your pain, all your struggles, all your hardships, all your successes, your connections, they will disappear. It's like you were never here. You don't matter. So, if you come to that conclusion, then it's logical that you would simply give up and do nothing, because whether you do or don't doesn't matter. Whether you do something with your life or you just sit around and do nothing, you will come to the same end point: death and being forgotten. You will die and be forgotten. Okay, so that's the depressing route you can go down, right? That's the depressing route. Giving up and doing nothing, slowly rotting away because life has no meaning and nothing you do will ever matter. Now, I came to that conclusion a long time ago. Let's just say, I wasn't the happiest person. Still am not, but that was the conclusion I came to first. Simply giving up and not trying at all. Now, there's another conclusion that I came to as well, after sitting around and thinking some more. If life has no meaning and your actions don't matter and have no consequence, then why don't you do what you want to do? You see, people have dreams, aspirations, places they want to be, you know, things they want to do, people they want to meet. But a lot of the time, the thing stopping them from doing any of the things they want to do is the fear of failure. They're afraid that they're gonna try and fail and lose everything, and people are gonna laugh at them and judge them. Everyone has this. I shouldn't try to become a musician because I might fail and I'll be homeless. I shouldn't talk to that girl, or I shouldn't talk to that guy because they might reject me. I shouldn't go there because it might be dangerous. I shouldn't do this because I could get hurt. You know, I shouldn't try anything because there are consequences. Well, if you start thinking about it, if you start thinking about it in a different way, my way, if you start thinking that life doesn't matter and has no consequence, then logically you can do anything, because now life has no consequence. Nothing you do matters. So who cares if you fail? Who cares if you embarrass yourself? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You're gonna die and everything you did is gonna be forgotten. The only thing that matters is whether you enjoyed your life or not. So, instead of sitting around and doing nothing because you're afraid of the consequences, you can get up and follow your dreams. Go to your dream job. You know, apply for it. Go to your dream school. Follow your hobby and turn it into work. Go talk to that girl or guy. Go to that place you always wanted to go. Do that thing you always wanted to do, because it doesn't matter whether you do it or you don't. It's gonna be the same outcome in the end. So just do it, because there is a chance you might really enjoy it. And that's all that matters. All right, so that's the second point down. You know, um, when life doesn't matter and your actions have no consequences, you can either stagnate and do nothing with your life, you know, and just sit around and rot away, or you can do everything you've ever wanted to do, because life has no consequences, and whether you succeed or fail doesn't matter at all. You see what I'm going with this? What I'm trying to tell you is, stop fearing things that might happen and just get up and do it. Stop fearing the consequences. The consequences only exist in your mind and to the people around you. Get up and do what you want, because those consequences don't matter in the grand scheme of things. You're gonna die eventually, and you will be forgotten. And the only thing that's gonna matter is whether you had fun or not. Anyways, and that takes us to the final point. How people react to these conclusions. Now, you know, I've made the mistake of telling people about these ideas. Now, I didn't go into detail, obviously, but, you know, surface level stuff. And the reaction I always get is, they look at me like I'm crazy. They look at me like I'm insane. I always tell them, you know, they tell me, when are you gonna, you know, you should get a job, you know, you should focus on your schoolwork and all that. And in my mind, I'm like, why? Nothing matters. Why should I waste my time on things I hate? And I tell them, hey, one day we're all gonna die and none of this is gonna matter. So why should I sit here and suffer because someone told me it's worth it? And they look at me like I'm a crazy person, like, what? What? How are you gonna buy things? How are you gonna feed yourself? What? Do you not think about your future? Do you not want to have a family? Dude, I don't care, bro. If I can't have fun in this life, there's no point in living. There is no point in living if I can't have fun. I don't care about feeding myself. I don't care about starting a family. I don't care about buying things, dude. If I'm not having fun, what's the point? What's the point? So, it's really crazy to me that these people simply refuse to believe, you know, that enjoyment is the only thing that matters in life, you know? And, you know, sometimes you do have to suffer to reach the point you want, you know? You want to be a famous guitarist, you're gonna have to learn to play the guitar. So you are gonna have to suffer, but still you're gonna see yourself progress. You're gonna see yourself succeed. Fail, succeed, fail, succeed. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna suffer, but you're also gonna have fun. With a lot of other things in life, like school and work, you're just gonna suffer. You're never gonna have fun. You are just going to suffer. But people have gotten used to this. People have gotten used to doing what others do. People have gotten used to following the footsteps of everyone that has lived before them. Why do you do this? Because that's just what I should do, because that's what people did. That's what people have told me I should do my entire life. So I should do it. Why do you go to school? Because my parents make me. Not because I want to learn, because my parents make me. Why do you go to work? Because I don't want to starve to death. Not because I enjoy it. Not because I enjoy making things. I enjoy being productive. No, because I don't want to starve. People do things because they're afraid of consequences that only matter in their society. They don't do things because they enjoy them. They do things out of fear, not out of enjoyment or aspiration or ambition. And I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I think that's crazy. I think that is insane that we have gotten used to living like that. That's just crazy to me. Am I the only one who thinks like that? Seriously? Am I the only one who thinks that living out of fear is stupid? What happened to living out of joy? Dude, go out and have fun. Chase your dreams, bro. You only live once. You only live once. Don't waste this chance doing monotonous tasks you don't give a single about because someone told you that's what you should do. If people mock you because you're chasing your dreams, if people tell you that you're wasting your time, tell them to f off. All right, don't care about them. Care about what you think. If you think this is good for you, do it. If you think it's bad, don't do it. It's as simple as that. All right? All right. Damn, I've been ranting for 17 minutes. Jesus. All right, well, that concludes this rant. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Tune into my stream. I know. Shameless plug and all that, but yeah, to conclude, life is meaningless. Its only purpose is the one you give it. Your consequences have no. Your consequences don't actually matter. Life has no consequences. You can either stagnate and do nothing with your life, or have fun and do everything you've ever wanted to do. Either way, you're gonna end up dead and forgotten. So, I think you should have fun. I think you should go with the latter. And people just seem to think I'm crazy when I tell them this, because they've just gotten used to living as, well, not slaves, but they just gotten used to living as others told them to. But yeah, thanks for watching.